Time magazine just announced the 100 most influential people of 2025. Wait, why is Blake Lively there?
So, Time magazine just crowned Blake Lively a titan of influence. And the internet's collective jaw hit the floor harder than Serena van der Woodsen. Tripping in 6-inch Louboutins, buckle up, because we're about to peel back the glittery veneer and see how a plantation wedding, a perfectly timed donation, and some Olympic-level PR gymnastics turned a pretty actress into a supposed world changer.
Blake Lively slammed for disgusting and embarrassing inclusion on Time 100 Most Influential People list.
You'd think a spot on the Time 100 goes to people who invent vaccines or land rovers on Mars. Instead, Time looked at Serena Williams' 23 Grand Slams, Simone Biles' gravity-defying flips, Joe Rogan's podcast empire, then yeeted Blake Lively into the lineup like she somehow belongs in the same sentence. Even Blake seemed stunned. Her acceptance post read like a Mad Libs of empowerment buzzwords: healer, dream maker, empath, fighter, risk taker, girl, you forgot unicorn, wrangler, and an intergalactic freedom fighter while you were at it.
And the only reason that they donated this money is because after multiple times, after year, they had been getting slammed and receiving so much backlash for their plantation wedding.
But hey, context matters. Flash back to 2012. Blake and Ryan Reynolds say, "I do a Boone Hall plantation in South Carolina, a venue featuring preserved slave quarters, because nothing says eternal love like a backdrop of historical trauma." 4 years, the internet side-eyed in silence. Then 2018 rolled around. Ryan tweeted Wakanda forever, and social media collectively screamed, "Wait, didn't you get married on a slave plantation?" Cue the backlash tsunami.
That Blake Lively is one of the most influential people in the world. She is on the top 100 list that Time magazine really.
By 2020, amid the George Floyd protests, Blake and Ryan issued what I call a "we really mean it this time" apology and wrote a check. Somewhere between $100,000 and $1 million, figures vary to the NAACP legal defense. Fun, generous, sure, convenient, absolutely. It smelled less like selfless awakening and more like reputation CPR, slap on the band-aid. Let the headlines cool, move on.
The funniest thing is that the reason why Blake Lively is on this list is basically because she's a philanthropist and she gave, I think it was $2 million. There's different numbers everywhere. Somewhere it said only $200,000.
Fast forward to 2025. Time rings up civil rights legend Sherilyn Feel to write Blake's glowing tribute. Plot twist, Feel freely admits she's never seen Gossip Girl, never studied Blake's Met Gala outfits, basically doesn't follow Hollywood at all, but she knows Blake donated money to her former organization. And suddenly Blake is deeply curious about social justice and committed to moving America forward. Translation, I don't know her filmography, but her check's clear.
And the person who wrote about Blake Lively is a civil rights activist, Sherilyn Ifill. I had to look at her Instagram to see who she was and who she is, and a lot of other people have gone through her Instagram already.
Meanwhile, the Magnolia Pearl fiasco brews Magnolia Pearliep, the brand that literally launched a plantation collection, becomes part of Blake's personal wardrobe. Imagine apologizing for your plantation wedding, then rocking clothes inspired by, well, plantations. The internet's facepalm registered on the Richter scale. It's like she's speed running the entire catalog of tone-deaf decisions. Plantation vows, check. Plantation couture, check. Next up, a vow. Renewal atop a Confederate statue.
She said that she never watched Gossip Girl and she didn't watch her on the Met Gala. And I'm like, maybe you didn't watch the internet for the last 6 months or the last year.
And let's not forget Lady Deadpool Gate. Picture Blake at the Another Simple Favor premiere, gleefully autographing glossy photos of Lady Deadpool. Spoiler, she has never played Lady Deadpool. That's her stunt double, but suddenly identical. Prints flood the barricades like someone hit print 25 copies of FedEx 10 minutes earlier. Nothing says organic fan interaction like a mass-produced poster drop and a paid crowd of surprise. De-autograph seekers, it's Hollywood's version of hosting your own surprise party then acting shocked when everyone yells surprise.
She was listed between Serena Williams and Simone Biles, and what they say about her is that she is a civil rights leader, which is so offensive.
The PR juggling doesn't stop there. Detectives' online notice tweets calling out Blake's plantation wedding mysteriously vanish. Threads disappear, accounts go private, search results look freshly sanitized. You don't bleach the internet unless the stains are incriminating. And this digital Fabrizi coincides neatly with key events, Blake's Time 100 rollout, and her ongoing multi-million-dollar lawsuit with co-star Justin Baldoni. Coincidence? That's cute.
We'll probably never see again. And for her to be included is disgusting. But we know it's pay for play. People are researching how much it costs to actually be included in this.
What happened in 2019 was that Blake and Ryan were once again in desperate need of good PR. And I will say this time it wasn't their fault.
Now, compare Blake's resume to real titans. Serena Williams fought for equal prize money and redefined athletic motherhood. Simone Biles sparked a global conversation on mental health. By stepping back from Olympic events, these women altered culture. Blake's biggest cultural disruption so far is convincing teens that headbands are a legitimate personality trait. Yet Time slaps them all in the same Titan category like it's a group discount at Costco. This is bigger than Blake. It's the Hollywood influence machine on full display. Mess up. No problem, hire a crisis manager. Donate to the right. Charity. Post a black square and wait for the upgrade to activist status. Influence these days is less about shaping society and more about shaping the algorithm. Blake isn't the first celeb to run the playbook, but landing Time 100 proves the playbook works frighteningly well.
And calling her a titan. A titan is defined by a person of very great strength, intellect, or importance.
And look, donating money is good. Learning from past ignorance is good. But buying an eraser for your missteps and cashing it in for most influential crown, that's where people choke on their popcorn, because between Magnolia Pearl, glam shots, mystery donation numbers, and choreographed sidewalk fan service, the whole saga screams performative. It's activism as costume, civil rights cosplay and couture, Rosa Parks by way of rodeo drive. So what have we learned? 1. Never underestimate a well-funded PR strategy. 2. Time Magazine's definition of influence can apparently be swayed by a timely check and a good narrative. 3. The internet never forgets unless you delete, restrict, or pay someone to bury the receipts. In which case it forgets for about 5 minutes until TikTok resurrects them.
This headline from NBC News. It says, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively apologize for plantation wedding. Now, this is published in 2020.
She's here because she made a contribution of $200,000 to the NAACP legal defense fund amid criticism for previously having their wedding on a former plantation.
Blake wanted a voice. Congratulations. The world is listening, but applause, that's dwindling fast. Because every time she says, I'm learning while wearing plantation core denim, or signs Fox fan Lady Deadpool headshots, the credibility gap widens. Meanwhile, genuine activists grind away without red carpets or magazine covers.
They needed good PR. And so what happened was they decided, it says the move was criticized at the time, he came under renewed scrutiny in 2018 after Reynolds tweeted his support of Black Panther, the first superhero movie to feature a majority black cast, and was accused of hypocrisy.
If Blake Lively can be hailed as a titan of influence for a late apology and a suspiciously strategic donation, maybe influence isn't what we thought. Maybe it's just a shiny sticker handed out to the best-dressed contender in a very expensive popularity contest, and if that's the case, then congratulations. Hollywood, you've turned world-changing impact into a brand collab reality check.